Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's full body Pilates workout. In today's routine, we're going to be sculpting all the major muscle groups. You're going to be working your thighs, your glutes, your back, your shoulders, arms, and core. We're not going to be using any equipment for this routine. We are going to be including a great warm-up and a cool down to restore your body after the workout. You're going to feel great after completing this routine, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with our warm-up, we're going to come into an all fours position on the mat, and we're going to work through some cat-cow variations. So position your wrists so they're below your shoulders and your knees are below your hips. You're going to drop your belly, arching the spine. Then you're going to round your spine, pushing the mat away. Return to neutral with your spine. Look out over right shoulder, bringing right hip and right shoulder together. And then back to center. Look out over left shoulder, bringing left shoulder and left hip together. Repeat. Drop the belly, arch the spine, round, pushing mat away, separating the vertebra, back to neutral. Shorten the distance between your hip and your rib cage on the right side, back to center, and repeat on the left, getting a nice side body twist in there. So we're lowering, rolling the shoulders down and back, dropping the belly, push mat away, stretch and lengthen the spine, come back to neutral, over to the right, back to center, over to the left, get a nice twist in there, and back to center. Arch, push mat away, dropping the crown of the head, come back to neutral, and twist, back to center, back to center. 2 more sets. Drop the belly, roll those shoulders down and back, push mat away, scoop belly in, return to neutral, look over to the right, stretching and lengthening, and over to the left. Nice work. Once more, really roll those shoulders down and back. Now push the mat away, scoop your belly in, come back to neutral, and side bend, back to center, side bend, back to center. Amazing work. Now we're going to lower the left forearm down onto the floor, and we're going to go into some hip circles here. So we're going to lift the right knee and circle it up and down and around, mobilizing the hip joint, keeping those shoulders rolled down away from your ears. And if you're feeling good here and you want to extend it, we're going to lengthen the leg between each circle. Good. If that's too much, you can keep the leg bent, warming up the knees, the hips, the glutes here, really pointing and lengthening out through the big toe. Let's go 3 and 2, and last one, stretch and lengthen and lower the knee down to the floor. Let's switch sides, lowering your right forearm down to the mat, picking up that left knee and circling. Drawing nice, big, exaggerated circles in the air. As we loosen up that hip joint and gently activate the glutes. Again, if you want to add that extension, circling and extending out on a diagonal. Lengthening out through that big toe. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears here. Gently warming up the lower body. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Lengthen and stretch and lower the knee down. Nicely done. From here, we're going to go into some downward dog lifts with a knee tap. So walk your hands out in front of your shoulders, spread your fingers, plant your palms down into the mat and curl your toes. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lift up those hips, flatten out the upper back, bend your knees as much as you need to really get that lift through the tailbone. Stretching it out here, let your head hang heavy between your shoulders. And now tap knees down, inhale. And exhale, scoop belly in and push mat away. Good. Inhale, tap the knees down to the mat. Plug your navel in as you lift and lengthen through the spine. Inhale to tap. Exhale to lift. Inhale, tap. Nicely done. Exhale, scoop abdominals in and flatten out the upper back. For 4. Give it a lot of energy. 3. Connect with those abdominals. For 2. Lengthen out through the tailbone. And final 1. Lift it up. Now we're going to come forward into high plank. Set yourself up here with good form. Shoulders above the wrists, creating a nice flat line with the body, engaging the core. We're going to inhale, tap both knees to the mat, and exhale, return to the high plank. Inhale and exhale, draw abdominals up toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, keep pushing that away, broad across those shoulders. Warming up the upper body, strengthening the core. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften knees down to the floor, take them nice and wide. Big toes come together and push back into child's pose. Really take a moment here to stretch and lengthen out through the tailbone, drawing nice deep inhales into the back of the rib cage, and slowly exhaling through pursed lips, controlling the exhale. Nicely done. Let's bring ourselves up to a seated position and just ensure that we've really mobilized that spine well and warmed up the core before we start our main workout. So we're going to sit up nice and tall on the mat. Knees are bent. Spine is lengthened. Crown of the head is lifting toward the ceiling. I'd like you to take your hands up overhead, palms facing down. Inhale here and exhale. Twist to the right, bringing the right fingertips down to the mat, keeping the spine really lengthened here. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale and exhale, alternating sides, challenging yourself by keeping your spine nice and long here, not allowing any rounding or slumping in the spine. I want you to grow taller with every rotation. Keeping that chin parallel with the floor. Good. Stretching through the neck as you look out over the shoulder. For 2. And 1. Nice work. Stretch your legs out long. We're going to take the hands, palms facing in toward each other. C-curve your way back, drawing your belly button in toward your spine. Deep inhale. And exhale, lift and fold over. Reaching for those toes. Inhale, roll back. Engage the core. Exhale, lift and fold over. Nice. Roll it back, switching on those abdominals, lift and fold over. Let's do 3 more. Nice work. Last one. Roll back a little bit further if you can. Hold, hold, hold. Shoulders down away from the ears. Lift up and stretch, taking hold of your feet, your calves, or your ankles, pulling yourself down into a nice back body stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Amazing work. Let's get into the ab portion of our workout now. Now that we're nicely warmed up, we're going to roll down to the mat 1 vertebra at a time, taking the hands behind the head. Fingers are interlaced, knees are bent, and our hip distance apart. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to curl and crunch up. 1 and 2. Nice work. Then we lower down and we bring left elbow to right knee for 1 and 2. Amazing. Back to center. Lift and lift. Lower down. Now right elbow to left knee for 1 and 2. Good. Back to center. Lift as you exhale. Keep those elbows nice and wide. And then over to the right. 1 and 2. Cinching in the waistline as you do so. Lift. Lift. Pressing low back into the mat. Cross over. For 2. Nice work. Lift. Peel shoulder blades up off the floor. Supporting your head in your hands. And then crossing over. Shortening the distance between the bottom of your rib cage and your hip bone. Lift, cross over for 2. Nicely done. Lift, a little higher. Lift, engaging the core. Cross over, cross over. Nice. Last set. Lift and lift. Cross over and over. Nicely done. Now we're going to go into some leg circles. You have the option here of lifting your head into a crunch and holding it, or keeping your head, neck, and shoulders down on the floor if that's too challenging for you. From here, we're going to bring the right knee in toward the chest, either peel up or keep head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat. And we're going to start circling that leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, lengthening through the toe, 5, and 6. Pause it there. If that's enough challenge for you, keep that opposite leg flat, foot flat on the floor. Otherwise, pick it up into a tabletop as we reverse direction with those circles. Circling backwards for 6, 5, abs in, 4, 3, 2, really pick that leg up, and 1, bring them to tabletop and lower both feet to the floor. Switching sides. So we're going to start off, left knee in toward the chest, curl and crunch up, and circle forwards. 2, 3, flattening the abdominal wall down toward the floor. 4, 5, and 6. Amazing work. Bring opposite leg into tabletop if you can. And now we're circling backwards for 6. Lift up a little higher into your crunch. 5. Keep those elbows nice and wide. 3, 2, and 1. Lower both legs down. Amazing work. Now we're going to come up onto our forearms and circle legs together. So I'd like you to position your elbows so that they're below your shoulders. Chest is nice and open, no rounding in the spine. Really push up so that your spine is in neutral, core is engaged. Glue your legs together. We're going to circle forwards. So drawing big circles in the air, keeping those legs glued together for 2, 3, abs in. Keep that chest nice and open. Last 5. Draw your lower abdominals in toward your spine. Good. And 2. And 1. Bring knees in. Now we're going to switch directions. So circling down, up, and in. Good. For 8. 7. 6. Really use your lower abdominals to get that lift. 3. You're doing great. 2. Keep lengthening through those toes. And 1. Amazing. Now from here, stretch both legs out long. Lower your upper body down to the mat and take a hold of one leg behind the calf, if you can reach, or the thigh if you can't quite get there. Legs are either perfectly straight or you've got a gentle bend. Head is resting on top of the shoulders. Shoulders are down away from the ears. If that's too much, lower head, neck, and shoulders to the floor. We're going into our single leg stretch. Pulse, pulse, and switch. Good. Pulsing that leg in toward the chest. Stretching it, not tugging it, but just gently pulsing it in as we breathe out and tighten the core. Make sure you're not looking up at the ceiling here. That'll strain your neck. Your gaze should be out between your thighs. Good. Belly to spine as we lengthen and stretch the legs and work those abs. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Let's do 6 scissors. 6, 5, 4, 3, abs in, 2, and 1. Bring both legs up and both knees in toward the chest. Let's just take a moment here to circle the knees in opposite directions, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You're doing great. Keep it up. Okay, another ab exercise here. We're going to be pedaling the legs in, and as we lower down, we're going to be pedaling the legs in the opposite direction. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Take your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. Curl up to a crunch position. If that ever gets too much, you can lower down. We're going to start pedaling the legs forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Lower head, neck, and shoulders reverse the direction of the pedaling for 5, 4, 3, keep those legs nice and long, 2, and 1. Lift up into your crunch and pedal forward. 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down, circle in the opposite direction for 4, 3, keep engaging those abs, and 1. Pedal forward, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Challenge yourself by lifting up a little higher, and 1, lowering down, pedaling back, 2, and 1. Last set like this, 3, 4, and 5. Now hold it here. I want you to lift up a little higher into your crunch, extend the legs out long, and pedal quick, really lengthening through those toes. Lift up a little higher into your crunch. Keep breathing. Good. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Bring knees in towards your chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nicely done. Let's stretch the legs out long and roll over onto the stomach. And let's just take a moment here to stretch out the abs coming up onto your forearms for cobra, or all the way up into your abdominal stretch. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Enjoy that lengthening feeling in your abdomen as we stretch out the muscles we just worked so hard. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Okay, from here, we're gonna get into an arm series. So I would like you to get into an all fours position. We're gonna really make sure we're setting ourselves up well so we feel this work in the triceps to begin with. Knees are below the hips, spine is in neutral, no overarching in the low back. Walk your hands out in front of your shoulders. You want your wrists, elbows, and shoulders lined up. From here, we're going to keep the arms perfectly parallel as we lower. Just hover the elbows above the floor and then push up through the heels of the hands. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. So don't let your elbows splay out to the side here. Have a look at those forearms. They should be parallel. You're lowering your chest, lowering your elbows just so they're above the floor, and then you're pushing up through the heels of the hands. I want you to really focus on the backs of the arms doing the work. So your upper body is nice and stable. The core is lifted up toward the ceiling. Let's go 5, 4, pressing up through the heels of the hands, focusing on those triceps. 2, and 1. Okay, now same thing again. This time we're going to drop 1, drop a little lower for 2, drop a little lower for 3, hovering above the floor, and then lift. So you're going into a staggered lowering of the elbows. 1, lift a little lower for 2, lift a little lower for 3, hold it there, and then push up, keeping that tension on the backs of the arms. Lower, 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 push up through the heels of the hands. So you should really feel the work in those triceps now. If you need to make any adjustments with the hands, taking them further away from the shoulders or closer to the shoulders to feel it, do so. Experiment with where you can feel it the most. Good. Lower, 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 push up. Already burning in those triceps. Good work. It's amazing what you can do with just body weight resistance and no weight at all. You can really get a good sculpt in. Good. Lower, 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 push up. Let's go 4 more sets. 1, 2, 3. Push up through the heels of the hands. Lower, lower, lower. Hover, push up. Last 2 sets. You can do it. 1, 2, 3. Working that definition in the back of the arms. And push up. Nicely done. Okay, from here we're taking our wrists below our shoulders and we're going to step back into a high plank. So I'm stepping the right leg back, stepping the left leg back, holding, nice flat line with the body. From here I'm bringing my right knee in toward my chest and then I'm taking the right knee to the outside of the right elbow and back. Left knee in toward the chest, left knee to the outside of left elbow and back out. Right knee to the outside of the elbow and back. Left knee in the middle and to the side. Right knee, middle and out to the side. Working deep into the core and the obliques. Make sure you're not lifting your bum up here or letting it sag down toward the mat. You want to be in a nice, strong, stable plank position. Good. Moving between the 2 sides. Let's go 3, 2, 1 more each side, and 1 and 2. Ooh, oh my gosh, that was intense. Good work for making it that far. Breathing in through the nose here, and out through the mouth. Soften knees down toward the mat. From here, we're going to take the hands so that the fingers are turned slightly inward and the elbows are poking out to the sides. So we're gonna go into another variation of a push-up with knees down on the mat. This time we're gonna go down, hold, 1, 2, 3, and push up. Good, lower down, hover the chest above the floor. 1, hold, 2, 3, and push up. So you're lowering, holding down toward the mat for 3 seconds, and then pushing up through the heels of the hands. Good. Lower, 1, 2, 3, and lift. Now your aim here is to really plug your belly button in toward your spine. Keep your gaze down on the floor. Keep your neck nice and long. And work deep into those chest muscles and arms as you push the mat away. 1, 2, 3. Push it up. We've got 4 more sets. 1, 2, 3. Push up. Last 3 sets, you can do it. 1, 2, 3. Push up. Last 2 sets. 1, 2, 3. Push up through the heels of the hands. Whew, I'm sweating. Keep going. Last set. And lift. Nicely done. Stretch back into a child's pose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Right, for this next exercise, we're gonna be targeting the upper body and we're gonna start to warm up the glutes and thighs for the next part of the workout. So I'd like you to position your forearms so that they're flat on the floor, parallel, elbows below the shoulders. No slumping here. We wanna be pushing the mat up and away through those shoulders. We're gonna step back into plank. We're gonna lift the right leg, lift the right leg, lift the right leg, and then pike, scooping belly in toward the spine. Come back to your low plank. Nice flat line with the body. Lift the left leg, point through the toes. 2 and 3, squeeze the glutes, then scoop belly in and lift those hips. Come forward, right leg, 1, 2, 3, and pike it up. Amazing. Come forward, 1, squeeze the glutes, 2, and 3, pike up. Last 2 sets. 1, 2, 3, squeeze the bum, lift up. And last one, 1, 2, and 3, pike up. Stretch and lengthen. Lower your knees down to the mat, take them wide. Big toes come together, walk your hands out. Keep those hips elevated as we stretch it out in puppy pose. Drawing those armpits down to the floor, lengthening out through the tailbone for 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, from here we're gonna move into position for bridge. So I'd like you to bring the feet forward and roll down onto the mat one vertebra at a time. When you touch down, we're gonna soften the head, neck, and shoulders down to the mat. We're gonna take the hands by the sides and the heels are below the knees, legs are hip distance apart. From here, we're gonna tilt the pelvis back and peel the low back, peel the mid back, peel the upper back up off the mat. Tuck your tailbone slightly here, engage your core. And from here, we're going to lift up onto the balls of our feet. You can bring them back a little bit closer under the knees if that feels more comfortable, and then lower the heels. Lift up onto the toes and lower the heels. Lift and lower. So you're keeping your hips elevated the whole time as you lift those heels and then soften them back down to the mat. So you're not kind of letting them thud back down to the floor. You're easing down, keeping the back body muscles engaged as you come up and as you lower down. Abs are engaged, tailbone is tucked. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Nice work. Let's go 5 and 4. Squeeze the glutes, engage the hamstrings, thighs are working here. And last 1. Lift and lower. Now we're going to alternate. Right heel lifts, and as we're lowering it, left heel lifts. Right heel, left heel. Alternating between the two, but keeping those hips nice and stable and level. Good. Working the calves here. Really lifting up high onto those toes for each repetition. Elevating those heels up off the mat. Squeezing the glutes and the bum. It's a small range of movement, but you'll definitely start feeling it. Good. If you're not already, I'm burning. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay up on the toes, lower the hips, and then lift into bridge. Lower and press up through the balls of the feet. Now, if it's way too much with your heels elevated, you can flatten your feet down to the floor. Good. Let's go 6. Lift those hips. 5. Keep the tailbone tucked and the abs engaged, protecting the low back. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing. Now widen the knees and then take them back to parallel. Widen to parallel. Keep those hips elevated. Good. We've got 8, 7. Squeeze the thighs. 6. You're doing great. Nearly there. Last 4, and then we're going to lower back down. 3. Keep with it. 2 and 1. Ooh, lower down. That was really intense on the back body. Well done. Bring those knees in. Stretch out the lower back. You can rock gently from side to side, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now from here, take your hands behind your thighs and roll up to a seated position. We're going to come down onto our forearms to continue to work those glutes. So lower down onto your forearms. We're going to work the left side first. So I would like you to position the elbows so they're below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Any arching here, sort it out. Tuck your tailbone so you've got a nice lengthened lower back. Now from here, we're going to extend the leg out long with a pointed toe, and then we're going to flex and lower. So lift with a pointed toe, flex and lower. Lengthen through the toe to lift. Lengthen through the heel to lower. Lift and lower. Switching positions with every lift. Good. Lowering and lifting. So this flexing and pointing of the toe really helps to strengthen all the muscles in the leg as you work the glutes. Now, don't worry if you lose your coordination every now and then. Just take a moment, get back into it. Flex to lower, point to lift. It happens to me all the time. Now I know we're really concentrating on what we're doing with our feet and our glutes, but I also want you to make sure that your abs are engaged and your shoulders are down away from your ears. Good, for 3, and 2, and 1. Nice work. Now I'd like you to bend the knee in, pointed toe, and then flex to extend. Bend in, toes are pointed, flex to extend through the heel. Point and flex. Point and flex, pushing through the heel. Let's go 7 and 6. Last 5 and 4. Nice long neck. 3 and 2 and 1. Hold on your flex and pulse. Little control pulses. We're going for 20. 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, lower down, nice work. Now we're gonna switch over to our right side to focus on this side booty, the gluteus medius muscles. So we're gonna lower that left forearm down to the mat, and we're gonna start off with some hip circles on this right side. Circling, just like what we did in our warm-up, but now we're really focusing on engaging those glutes. So moving with purpose, squeezing that side booty, lifting that knee up and around for 3 and 2 and 1, going into those extensions. Circle, extend, circle, extend. Nice work. Circle, extend, lengthening through the toe for 6, 5, full extension for 4. Try not to lean too much over to that supporting side. 2 and 1. Lower the knee down, and we're gonna lift that knee to the side, going into a fire hydrant. Lift and lower, lift and lower for 7, 6. Squeeze the glute at the top of every lift. 4, 3. Squeeze that bum. 2 and 1. Hold at the top of the lift. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7. Elevate that knee. 3, 2, and 1. Oh my gosh, those were tough. Okay, take the knees nice and wide. Let's have a stretch and a breather before we focus on the opposite side. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great. Okay, coming over onto the other side, we're gonna lower those forearms down to the floor, and we're focusing on the right glutes to begin with. So we've got that leg extended. We are lifting with a pointed toe, flexing and lowering. Lifting with a pointed toe, squeezing the glutes, flexing and lowering. Lift, flex to lower. Point to lift, flex to lower. Keep those hips square with the mat. Try not to let your right hip open up to the side. Good. Really getting that booty squeeze at the top of every lift. Keeping the core engaged, low back protected. Good. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bend and flex, extend. Point to bend, flex to extend. Point and flex. Kick out behind you for 7, 6. Drive through that heel. 5, 4. Relax those shoulders. 3. No tension in the neck. 2 and 1. 20 little pulses here. Square your hips. Lengthen through your heel. 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Whew. Okay, lower that right forearm down to the mat. We're nearly finished. A few more exercises before we get our nice cool down and stretch. So stick with it. Let's start circling that knee forward. Feels really nice to stretch through the hip and start engaging the gluteus medius. Good. Nice long neck. Nice neutral spine. Good. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend. Good. Extend. Circle and extend. 3, 4. Abs in. You're working your waistline here too. Obliques are on. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to lower and open to the side. Good. Really lift that knee up and squeeze the side booty. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Pulse it up. Little control pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing. Step back into your plank, and we're going to fold the right leg under the body, stretching in pigeon pose. Sitting up nice and tall like I am, or you can be folded over the lower body, whatever feels right for you. Just going to stretch my neck out a little bit here too, relieving tension as I look from side to side. Good. Regulating the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Back to center. Step back into your plank and fold the left leg under the body. Sitting up nice and tall or folded over. Looking up, stretching the neck, looking down, stretching the back of the neck, up and down if that feels comfortable. For 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Now from here, stepping the right foot between the hands, sitting up nice and tall, coming into an upright hip flexor stretch. So we're not sinking, we're sitting upright and we're just tucking the tailbone and creating that right angle with that front leg and the back leg, and just really pushing that hip forward slightly to feel that stretch. Now if it feels good here, you can take your left arm overhead and just stretch over to the left side, deepening the stretch, lengthening through the side body for 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to center, lower hands, bring your left foot forward, sitting up nice and tall, tucking the tailbone, just gently pressing that right hip forward. And adding that side stretch in if you would like to do so. Maintaining balance, lengthening all the way into that hip and all the way out through the fingertips feels really good. For 3, and 2, and 1. Nicely done. We're going to plant the hands down on the mat, lift the hips up, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Bend the knees as much as you need to get as much of a flat back as possible. And I'm just going to pedal out the heels here. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3, and 2, and 1. Level out the heels, lower the knees. You can turn and face me. You can be sat with your legs crossed or kneeling like so, or you might want to stand up for this. I'm going to stretch out the back of the arm. So I'm just going to pull that left elbow back behind me a little bit, applying a little bit of pressure to the back of the arm. It's actually my right arm I'm stretching here. Good. Doesn't matter which side you start off on. Keep the arm nice and bent. Fingers are trailing down the middle of the back, feeling the stretch all the way through the back of the arm. Really important because we just worked our triceps so heavily. Good, and release. Bend opposite arm and stretch that elbow back. Sitting up nice and tall here. For 3 and 2 and 1. Releasing the stretch, lifting your shoulders up and rolling them down and back. You did so well with all those exercises. Like I said, no weight at all, and it was still a great workout. I hope you felt it in all those major muscle groups like I did. Last one. Amazing. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.